Attention, all you fishes in the sea. Welcome to the Fisch Bowl with Sam Fisher.
Phlecia and Josh from Year of October on the Fisch Bowl. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking the time to swim in the bowl with me. I hope the temperature is just right.
Oh, yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, first, let me just say that I'm a huge fan of your music. I think you guys liked a post that I did a while back promoting a show, and I fell in love with you guys ever since.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. I'm a big fan of music as well as movies. My podcast, focuses a lot on movies and music and entertainment and helping the arts and stuff. So I'm really glad to have you on the show and to talk about all that stuff. My first question for you, though, is what got you guys interested in music?
But for me, I started playing music. I started playing trumpet in band when I was like 10 or 11. And I've always loved music. And I started playing bass guitar when I was about 12. And I started my own band around the same time. And I don't know, there's something that just clicked with me when I got like right around that age frame or age range where it's like all I wanted to do was play music.
Yeah, and I grew up in a very musical family. We were the kind of family that at Christmas you're all singing around the piano. And I just always loved singing. And so I did that with my family. I sang in church, I sang in theater. And like my grandmother used to play piano for me when I would come over there, and I would just make her play for hours while I sang. And they ended up buying a karaoke machine for me because she got tired of her hands got tired after a while. It would just stick me in a back room, let me continue singing because that's all I wanted to do as a kid.
Awesome. My sister actually is a musician, and she actually just graduated from Berkeley.
Oh, nice.
That's
And
awesome.
she's actually in New Orleans right now, and I know you guys are in Nashville. And I told her to check you guys out because it's like a very, she's into like blues rock and stuff.
Oh, cool.
So I figured there might be a mutual interest there or something. But my next question for you is, who are some of your greatest influences for Year of October?
Well, I grew up listening to I really loved old soul music, like Etta James and Ella Fitzgerald and all of that newer stuff. Norah Jones is one of my absolute favorites, Amy Winehouse. But if I'm going to go with bands, oh my goodness, our cat decided to jump in. I love the Arctic Monkeys and anything Jack White does and the Punch Brothers. It really, both of our interests span lots of different things. But yeah, I would say those are some of mine.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin is definitely like my favorite band. Another favorite of mine is I love Black Sabbath. I also grew up listening a lot to like Motown stuff. Otis Redding is one of my favorites, and then modern stuff like the Dead Weather, like Jack White, the Black Keys, the early Black Keys stuff. Yeah, we listen to all kinds of music, and that's one of the best things about being on the road and being, with our drummer's not here with us now, but with our drummer, he's always showing us new stuff, and we're always playing new stuff for each other on the road. So it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. I definitely agree with you about the Black Keys.
Yeah.
Before they went to playing like stadium stuff, I like them a lot more.
Yeah.
But, they're still a great band and have a lot of great music. Definitely the earlier stuff I tend to like better.
Yeah, same here.
But I'm definitely into Zeppelin. I love Zeppelin. I love the early Sabbath, all that stuff. And I tend to listen to like a new band every couple days or something. I'm always researching new music and seeing what shows up in my Spotify or on Bandcamp and stuff like that, and always curious to see who's going to be like the next big thing basically. And I think you guys are awesome, and I was wondering if you've ever come to Pittsburgh to play.
We have.
Yeah, we've played Pittsburgh twice.
Yeah. We played at a brewery up there, Full Prime Wildside, And then we played at Howlers, like right before it closed.
Oh wow. My sister played there like a lot.
Oh, really?
At Howlers, yeah. And she actually used to like waitress there and
Oh, wow.
everything. She lived in like I guess it would be like the Millville area, which is like right across the bridge from like Lawrenceville where Howlers.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a really great venue in Millville that I would love to see you guys play at, hopefully. It's called Mr. Small's Theater.
Mr. Paul's Theater?
Yeah, it used to be a church, and they converted it a while back, a long time ago now, into a concert venue. And it's owned by the band members of what were Rusted Root, and they book a lot of like shows in your genre as well as in rap and like shoegaze and like it's honestly my favorite venue in Pittsburgh, and they get like a lot of really good shows. And I'm actually friends with one of the owners Facebook, and I've been meaning to like shoot him a message and everything. But if you want, I could try and get in touch to, I don't know, like
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
if you ever doing like thinking about coming back to Pittsburgh.
We love it.
I mean, I know that they do their booking through a ticketing service called, I think it's Ticket Web, something like that. Or Opus One. Opus One is the ticketing company that does it, but I know that they book like that's just the ticketing service. Like, you know, they book outside shows and just sell the tickets through that. But it's a really great venue, and like, you know, I'd be happy to try and see what I can do.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We'd love, and we can also reach out to them too as well. That'd be awesome to get.
I'd be happy to send you the guy's name and information. Like what I'd love to kind of what I really want to try and do at some point is to like open my own bookings and to help out, you know, bands and the rock genre and like shoegaze, psychedelic rock, stuff like that, you know, alternative stuff. But I'd be happy to. So, but back to Year of October. Actually, my next question is, how did you guys come up with the name for Year of October?
When we first started playing, it was just me and Josh, and we started when we were in college at the University of Kentucky, and it was just me and him. He was playing acoustic, and we were just writing off of that at the moment, and it kind of felt like the music that you would like kind of play around the campfire, kind of spooky vibes, and I wanted to take that feeling of like autumn and campfires and all that and make it go year round. And so I think that October is the best fall month. And so we landed on Year of October because who doesn't want a Year of October? It's the best.
I definitely agree. Obviously, I mean, I know my camera's out right now. I have to get a new computer, and it's a whole fiasco. But
that.
But in my background, I have a big poster of From Dusk Till Dawn and Army of Darkness.
Nice.
So obviously, October is my one of my favorite months, and who doesn't like horror movies? Everything that comes along with October.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know we've been talking about music for a sec, but obviously, I see movie posters in the background. There Will Be Blood, Shutter Island, awesome stuff. Sidetrack for a sec. What are some of your favorite films, and like what type of movies are
we love movies, and we watch a ton of movies. A couple of my favorite movies in no particular order: No Country for Old Men. I love classics too, like Goodfellas. Like my favorite director is Martin Scorsese, so Goodfellas is definitely my favorite. As is Taxi Driver, and like some other. I love the Coen Brothers. Another favorite of mine. There'll Be Blood's definitely up there. I know Paul Thomas Anderson, another one of our favorite directors. Definitely yours.
I love Edgar Wright as well. We just recently rewatched Hot Fuzz, which is probably one of my favorites. We love Shaun of the Dead, World's End, that whole little trilogy. Scott Pilgrim versus the World that he did. Wes Anderson, The Royal Tenenbaums is one of my favorites. And then Tarantino too.
Yeah.
We love everything that he does.
And lately, like talking about like horror movies and stuff.
Ari Aster.
Yeah, Ari Aster, Midsummer and Hereditary are two of our favorite horror movies. Those movies are both terrifying and weird and cool. And
I just got a really cool print that this artist over in England made. She's called like This Is Fun Art or something, but it's of Midsummer and it's almost done in the Archie comic style. It's with her with all the flowers around it. It's really cool.
Awesome. You mentioned Edgar Wright, and you mentioned all the movies except the one that I thought you were definitely going to mention, which was one of his newest ones, Baby Driver.
Oh yeah, Baby Driver and Last Night in Soho. Yeah. I didn't mention either of those, and I loved them both.
Yeah. Well, Baby Driver, being musicians and everything, you have to have a special appreciation for that. Oh, yeah. That and Scott Pilgrim. Those two specifically, like music wise, but also Baby Driver, just the whole fact that like they're making fun of like what it is. It's like a self-conscious movie.
Yeah.
But like the whole point is rock music and like rocking out and just being a fan of music in general.
Absolutely. One of my favorite parts of Baby Driver is when I think Flea, his character, is supposed to have the masks for Mike Myers, and he gets Mike Myers, the comedian, like the actor, he gets those masks. So they all rob the place, and then I think one of them even makes a quote from Austin Powers, I think, or something like that. But like, I thought that was so funny, and I read online that he asked Mike Myers, the person, if it was okay, and he thought it was so funny. Like, that was pretty amazing.
Definitely, that was a hysterical scene. And on the topic of Mike Myers, I think everybody talks about Austin Powers and his big hits, but the one that totally goes under the radar that I think is probably his funniest because of all the cameos of all the comedians that are in it is So I Married an Axeman.
Oh, that's a classic. Yeah, that's a great movie.
I've never actually seen that one.
It's been a minute for me, but I used to always be on like Comedy Central.
And if you go back and watch that, I swear to God, the whole, first of all, for Phlecia, Mike Myers, it's the first movie where he plays two different characters. And he plays his dad in the movie. And it has one of the funniest cameos from Phil Hartman, the late great Phil Hartman. He is so funny, and he's like an Alcatraz. Because it takes place in San Francisco.
Okay.
He's like an Alcatraz tour guide, and I can't even like try to like replicate what he says and like the delivery of just it's all about the delivery from Phil Hartman, and it is so funny. And there's Stephen Wright makes a cameo. Every major comedian from like the 80s and early 90s, like makes a cameo in this movie. And it's also, there's like a line that he says that's in the Fat Bastard voice. And I swear to God, that's where Fat Bastard spawned from. It was like he made a line and he was like right then and there. I swear to God, he's like, I have this idea for a character for a future movie, and I'm going to use it. And it ended up being Fat Bastard and Shrek.
You spawned off two major characters.
Right. And I don't know if you know this either, because I'm really into movies and movie trivia, but Chris Farley was actually supposed to be Shrek.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that.
There's a rare voice recording that they released like a couple years ago, and it's Chris Farley like talking at what his version of Shrek would have been, talking like back and forth with Eddie Murphy. And I swear to God, that movie would not be the whole Bad Bastard accent. None of that was Chris Farley. Like think the school bus driver from Billy Madison.
From Billy Madison? Oh. That's one of my favorites. I love Billy Madison.
Yeah, she quotes Billy Madison constantly.
Billy Madison's great.
Heck yeah.
My next question for you is back to music a little bit. I'm always curious to know who does the artwork for the bands I interview, their album covers, because one of the things that really attracts me to like researching new music and stuff that shows up in my Spotify and Bandcamp is the album covers. If you have like a really cool, like thought put into, an album cover, it usually attracts me to say this band is worth listening to. And in most cases, it's really awesome and right up my alley. So I was wondering, is there one artist or the same artist, and who that is who's done the artwork for your album covers?
Yeah, that is that's a huge part of it for us. That's like the album art is a big deal because I think the same as you. It's a visual representation of what the album sounds like at a glance. So our last 3 albums, we've worked with 3 different artists.
That one's called Keep On Fighting.
Yeah, that album's called Keep On Fighting. But the album art was done by an artist named Ryan T. Hancock, and he's amazing. He did such a great job with it.
Mm-hmm. He's out of Britain, and he does a lot of artwork for. He's a painter, so he actually does like a full canvas.
Oh, and awesome.
It's amazing. Like working with him not only was it like just like inspiring, sending the idea, but it was also he was so easy to work with. Like he sent us like 3 or 4 different idea templates, like basic like outlines before he worked on the big one, and I was like, all of them look great. So we definitely he captured it in an amazing detail.
Right. Every artist we've worked with has been amazing now and easy to work with. And, our Wastelands album was done by a girl we know. She's a tattoo artist out of Sparta, Tennessee, named Kayla Seabolt. And I feel like we sent her the craziest, like just weird mishmash of idea in our head. And we were like, I hope you can make something out of this. And she just knocked it out of the park with the Wastelands album cover.
And that album came out in 2020.
Yeah.
And she was amazing. And she's a tattoo artist, you said. And it's just like, we like to like come up with the idea, but like kind of know, we definitely don't ever try to tell the artist like how to do. We kind of see what they do, and then we want our idea
style.
Yes.
Right.
And in 2017, the album Trouble Comes, that was by
Chris Schweizer.
Chris Schweizer.
And he does comic book art. And it just turned out so cool. It was like a sort of Scooby-Doo vibes. And I just really love how all of them turned out. And I think that it does a good representation of that. I had done the album art prior to that, and I was glad to send it off to someone else.
But saying that, though, I think she did the album art on Golden Days, and I think it's great, and I think it encompasses the whole album as well. Mm-hmm. And it was, you did a really fantastic job, so don't sell yourself short. But like, we also, speaking of artwork too, we've done like our band logo is by
Casey Joe.
Yeah, Casey Joe.
I'm actually wearing our band shirt, Casey Joe and the Friday Night Dads.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did our band art, which is like our
Electric Fox.
Yeah, we call it the Electric Fox. It's a logo for all our social media. And then she also did our new record label artwork.
Awesome. I know you mentioned that you give them like an idea and all that. Do you also like let them listen to the album before it comes out to kind of like get a feel, like so like all the inspiration?
Yeah.
We usually send them. A lot of times like it depends on the album, but like we're usually finishing up mixing and getting the artwork done at the same time. So yeah, I'll send them what we have, and
you sent Ryan like 3 songs.
I sent him the whole album.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
it wasn't fully mixed yet, though.
Kayla the whole album.
Yeah.
So I send the whole album with Chris Schweizer. I don't think we were able to send it to him yet, but I think I was able to send him a couple of weeks playing the song. But that was back in, I don't remember, that was back. But like, yeah, with Ryan, I definitely sent him the whole album, and he I don't know, he kept saying like, oh yeah, I can run with this. And he was just super easy to work with, and everything he did was super inspired. So it was awesome.
Very cool. Very cool. You know, there's something about tattoo artists and comic book artists that, you know, they can really come out with some very cool stuff, you know, other than just tattooing and everything. I have a friend that actually did my logo for my podcast. He's a tattoo artist, and he just actually opened his first own tattoo shop out in an area in Pennsylvania, a little bit outside of Pittsburgh, called New Kensington. But anyways, he's a really, tattoo artist and just artists in general. I really respect the stuff that they come up with. You know, it's very kind of like mind blowing. Give them an idea, and you say, this is like what I'm doing, and this is what I'm thinking, and then, you know, your mind can just be blown by, you know, how creative outlets with music, you know, can inspire, you know, many different and artistic stuff. And I was talking about this with another band, several other bands that I've interviewed, but there's something about, I guess, psychedelic stuff that really kind of like opens, what is it, like neural pathways in the mind that allow creativity to flow. And there's been studies proven that, it does that. And there's a lot of music out there that, a lot of it is mainstream, unfortunately, that makes people into like, robots. And, you really, it's like on the subject of another movie, Josie and the Pussycats. It's literally like that. And, I think there's something about rock and roll, and especially psychedelic elements of rock and roll and psychedelic rock in general. And it's my goal to eventually have like a talk show, much like, something on like HBO, which would be my ultimate goal. But anyways, I would like to have, like a musical guest come on and, film people, but, try to help bands that, are really great and have a really great sound and message and everything and deserve to be heard, that, may not, be on the mainstream yet, but it's like if it only had, the outlet to get out there, it could be the next like big thing, and obviously if that were ever to happen, I have a long list growing of bands that, I'm gonna have on the show. But obviously I would love to have you guys on, a talk show to perform and everything when that does happen, because I'm not gonna say if.
Yeah.
So
manifest that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Awesome. I mean, personally, I'm a fan of all your albums, but I think each album honestly got better as like each one came out. And Wastelands was like I think the best one I heard, from you guys so far. But again, all of them are great. They're all great. I just have, ones that I like a little bit more than others, but I honestly think that each album just got, honestly, the sound, all of it got like more, I don't know how to say, like more developed. The sound was like, it was a new kind of like a little bit newer, different style, stuff, a little more psychedelic, darker elements. How can, I guess, your fans expect your newest album to kind of compare to the other ones?
It definitely goes further into the darkness for sure. It's my favorite thing we've ever done. Before that, Wastelands is definitely my favorite that's come out so far. But Keep On Fighting is my favorite album I've done. It's definitely the darkest and heaviest thing we've done. It's I don't know. It's weird because like I spent some time like away from it. Like, I listened to it so much because I was mixing it, and then took a couple months where I didn't listen to it at all. And coming back to it now, definitely really proud of it. But yeah, it's angry. It's angry, yeah.
We wrote it during 2020 when everyone in the world was stuck at home. And so we were just angry. We'd had a lot of shows canceled, and we wrote this album, and I really love it. I think it's great. It gets heavy and angry, and I don't know.
And there's like I don't know, it's definitely the most complex music we've written as well. And it's like some of the hardest stuff I've had to play on guitar, but like I think too there's like a beauty to it. Like
beautiful anger.
It's a beautiful anger. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to describe your own music sometimes, but like I definitely, I don't know. Like I listen to it, and I can. I also think too, talking about going back to the artwork, I think the album sums it up pretty well. With like, it's like a little creepy, but yeah, I can't wait for everyone to hear more of it. We're super stoked on it.
Awesome. I cannot wait to check it out and give it a listen. I'm very excited to check it out and, jam out to some new tunes from Year of October. One thing I wanted to, I guess, bring up is just as a movie person, I actually went to school for screenwriting, and I'm in the process of hopefully I'm working with someone that's going to help me get my first feature film made. And I just wanted to, it's on the subject of rock and roll and movies, and my script is very I'll just say rock and roll themed. And one of the kind of like legends that's kind of like based on is Robert Johnson.
No.
and it's a reimagining of that with like a Quentin Tarantino influence and a lot of other stuff. And I was wondering, have you ever had any of your music played in movies, or like thought about trying to get, like, I guess, samples or something played in film, because your sound has a very like it could work well in film.
That's something we definitely would love to. We haven't had any as of yet,
but yeah, we would love.
We would definitely love to. We're also a big fan. Like, I'm a big soundtrack guy, like, as well, and that's definitely it's also that's exciting about the screenplay.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see what comes out of that. But yeah, it's definitely something we would love to get into. That'd be super cool.
Awesome. Well, if it's ever in my power, to get you guys on a soundtrack or something, like, I would do it.
Well, thank you.
I mean, I'm not sure like how the logistics of, once you get the film into production, and how that all kind of like, works out. But if I had my say, I would definitely have you guys do a song for my.
Thank you. That would be totally awesome.
Definitely. I have a couple closer questions for you guys. I know we've been talking about your new album. Obviously, you must have some upcoming shows to promote. And I guess my question is, if you have any other upcoming projects to promote. So.
Yeah, so like the day we're filming, that we'll be announcing our album date for the actual show. The album release comes out on May 5th, but the show in Nashville is May 26th at the Cobra.
Yeah. And we're going to be touring a lot, and that's going to be like our little homecoming celebration show.
We're going to be touring a lot in May, and also in June. And then we also have our new label that's out. It's called Watch It Burn Records. As of right now, that's the release that we're promoting, but we do have more announcement with that. We'll be working with some other artists as well, but those aren't public yet. We'll be making those announcements here soon, but Watch It Burn Records is the label. We're stoked on that as well.
Awesome. Well, I am very much looking forward to see who you announce on your label. And if you like to work something out where, I could interview the bands on the label and help, promote the label and stuff like that, I'd love to do something like that. I'm actually working with another label out of Portland called Little Cloud Records, and I'm interviewing a lot of the bands that are on that label. So I'd love to help you guys out any way I can.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. And my last two questions are, I know we've been talking about music and movies and favorite films, but who are some of your favorite bands of all time? Current, just in general. And I know we're talking about films and everything, but who are some of your, I guess, favorite films and music in general?
My favorite bands. I love the Punch Brothers and the Kills. I think. Go ahead.
I was just say too, I know I mentioned Led Zeppelin earlier as my favorite band, but another favorite band of mine is Radiohead. It's like definitely a top 5. As is, I love the Beatles. They're just like everything. I love Abbey Road.
Oh, sorry.
Abbey Road, as you can see behind me.
Yeah.
Favorite album of theirs, but it's hard to pick.
We've really gotten into Idols lately a lot. We love them.
Yeah, Idols is cool, but like I wouldn't say they're on a favorite band level.
I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just getting into them a lot.
But
lately.
I definitely love. I love like a lot of soul music, like the Daptone Records out of New York, Charles Bradley, the Budos Band, Sharon Jones and the Dap King, Minahan Street. Those are all some of my favorites. Stuff that I have on pretty constant. Also, Alden Witches is another favorite band of mine. I listen to almost too much. But
I saw them back when they were like, it was almost like an attic type show. I've seen them every time they come to Pittsburgh, all them Witches. And the first time I saw them, it was at a place in Lawrenceville, not too far from Howler's, and it was like a closed, unfortunately. I think it was called Brillo Box, and they were playing on like the upstairs level and it was like such a small venue to see like where I first saw them to where like they're at now.
Yeah.
They are an awesome band.
Yeah,
Very
they're
very
so
versatile too.
We've seen them twice now. Both we saw them at the last show we saw them was at the Ryman on Halloween, and that was amazing. They were awesome. Yeah, I've been wearing them out since like 2016. They're such a cool band. That's awesome. You saw them at such a small venue. I actually am kicking myself. I had some friends invite me to see them, or I think they were even playing. They were open from here in Nashville, and it was like I think there was like 10 people there. That was probably in like 2013 or something. I didn't go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's like the one band that I saw it. I'm like, wow, like, to see where they are now, to see where I first saw them. But yeah, they're a very, very great band. I like to see a lot of concerts. I try to see as many as I can. I was born in '88, so I grew up like in the whole 90s
Yeah.
alternative era, but I didn't see any of those bands until like I was in my 20s. And one of my favorite all-time bands, they're not, I don't even know how to like classify them as like grunge, but it's Jane's Addiction.
Oh yeah.
I love Jane's Addiction. I've seen that band the last like I think 3 or 4 times they've come to Pittsburgh, and the one show that like I didn't even know it was the show that I was seeing, but they were doing like the Nothing Shocking tour, like whatever anniversary tour, and my favorite song that they ever did is Ted Just Admit It. I think that is one of the most funky, just guitar riffs, an awesome jam. And when I saw that live, it was like, oh my God, like is this I didn't even realize they were performing the album, and then they did the album, and then they did a whole bunch of songs after that and everything. One of the best shows I've seen. I saw Bush one time at that show. Gavin Rosdale, or whatever his last name is, in the middle of the show, he like went off the stage and like was walking around like letting people take selfies with him and stuff like that. And I was like, too like, should I like go over there? Or like it seems like, people are flocking to him. I didn't want to be like, trying to stomple him because I'm a big guy, but it was very cool that like he did that.
Yeah, that's really neat.
I'm a big '90s alternative fan. I'm big into '90s rap, and I'm like really, really into like shoegaze and psychedelic rock stuff like that. Stoner rock too.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
awesome.
That's stuff for sure.
Awesome. Well, Phlecia, Josh, it's been great talking with you. Very exciting stuff going on. I could not wait to check out the new album, all the announcements coming with your new label, all exciting stuff. And I'm looking forward to hearing the news and checking it all out.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking the time to swim in the bowl with me. Again, I hope the temperature was just right.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Hey there, all my fishes in the sea. Thanks for tuning into today's episode and for being a subscriber. Your continued listenership and support means the most and helps keep the show growing to deeper and deeper depths. I want to let all my guppies in the sea know the Fisch Bowl has now officially partnered with FastCustomShirts.com, where they're now selling custom Fisch Bowl t-shirts under their podcast and website section. Every t-shirt that's purchased helps and goes a long way to keep the show growing to deeper and deeper and higher depths. I also now have custom hats, beanies, handbags, pens, mouse pads, everything to make you look like the coolest looking fish in the sea, which you can DM me directly on Instagram at thefishbowl88 or on Facebook at just the Fisch Bowl, or you can friend request me, Sam Fish, directly and get yours today. Your continued listenership and support again means the most. It's the most important fishes that flock together. We are a school of fish and we keep the unit going. Let's all keep swimming upstream.